Alright, these are the word problems from 1.1, so examples 11 and 12. So 11. A builder of tract homes reduced the price of a model by 25%. If the new price is 180,000, what was the original price and how much can be saved by purchasing the model? So this is what we know. Whenever we have word problems, write out what you know. So what we do know is that the builder reduced by 25%. So what that actually means is that if they reduced by 25%, the new price is 75% of the original, because that's what's left over for 100%. So if you reduce it by 25%, what's left over is 75%. That means 75% of the original is the new price. So we don't know the original price. It's asking what is or what was the original price. When we don't know something in math, it is always x. So because they want us to find it, we don't know it. When we don't know something in math, it's going to be our x. However, we do know something that this new price is $180,000. So what this means is that we have the new price, which is 180,000, and we know that that was discounted and that new price is 75% of the original price. We don't know the original price. We said it's X. Now, we never actually work with percentages in math. We work with decimals. So instead of working with 75%, we're going to be working with 0.75. So we're never allowed to work with percentages. So 75% turns into 0.75. Alright, from here we need to solve for x. So we have 180,000 equals 0.75x, meaning 0.75 times x. So we're going to divide by 0.75. And when we divide by 0.75, we get 240,000 equals x. That means that's the original price. So now it's asking how much can be saved by purchasing this new model. So if the original price was $240,000 and the new price is $180,000, we actually saved $60,000. Example 12. The perimeter of a rectangular window is 30 feet. The width of the window is 3 feet more than the length. What are the dimensions of the window? So first things first, this might be a little harder to figure out what is it actually telling me. So figure out what does it want the answer to be? It wants the dimensions of the window. We don't know something. We're just given kind of 3 feet more than the length, blah blah blah. We're just given a bunch of stuff. However, there is one thing we should probably really pin out right now, that we're working with perimeter. So because we have the perimeter, that tells us a formula that we can actually use. So perimeter is 2 length plus 2w. Because if we think of a rectangle that looks like this, It's length, length, width, or vice versa. It doesn't matter, honestly. So we have two L's and two W's, and that's going to equal our perimeter. It told us that our perimeter is 30 feet. So we have some type of formula going for us already. So now we need to figure out, how do we fill L's and W's out? Well, it says the width of the window is 3 feet more than the length. So the width is 3 feet more than something that we don't know. We don't know the length. So these are our unknown things. We don't know the length. It just says the width is blah 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 more than the length. So the length is just x. It doesn't tell us anything more about it. And then it tells us something about the width. The width of the window is 3 feet more than the length. Now, just like in class 3 plus x, that should look weird. So we're going to switch this to x plus 3. You don't have to, but it's good to be able to reorganize things to make it look better, because it really does help out later on in math. So we have our length and our width. We don't have the numbers for them, but guess what? We at least have something going. We have variables to represent our length and our width. So it's actually going to be easier to just plug in what we know. We know the length, it represents x, and we know the width, it represents x plus 3. So we have 30 equals 2L plus 2W. Anytime we're using a formula, leave the spacer, then go back and fill it out. Trust me, it's really going to be helpful later on in this class. So our length, we don't know it. We said it was x. Our width, we don't know it, but we know that it's 3 feet more than the length, so that was x plus 3. Now let's go ahead and simplify here, because we can simplify 2 parentheses x, that's just 2x. And we can distribute the 2. So when we distribute the 2, we get 2x plus 6. We can combine like terms. So we have 30 equals 4x plus 6. We're going to subtract 6 to both sides. So we get 24 equals 4x. And usually the last step we're going to divide. So we divide by 4. So we get 6 equals x. So we actually just found the length, because the length is just x. So the length, which is just x, we now know is 6 feet. We know it's feet because they give us feet. However, the width, we need to figure out the width because there's a formula or like a model we came up with. So the width, when we figured that out, it was x plus 3. So we can plug in our x. Our x was 6, so 6 plus 3, we get 9 feet. So our length is 6 feet and our width is 9 feet. You know you did that right. You can actually check your work, because if we have a rectangle, we have 6, 6, 9, 9, and if you add those all up, so 9 plus 6 plus 9 plus 6, guess what? You get 30 feet. So you can actually check your work real quick just to make sure you didn't miss a number or accidentally type in a wrong number in your calculator. So it's always good just to do a quick check of your work.